Hello there guys, and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros. And today we've got a very exciting one because we're going to be reviewing Dynamite pre-workout. It says here extremely potent by the guys over at Combat Fuel, and it's actually in partnership with a guy called Graham Hicks. You may or may not have heard of him. He's a very successful powerlifting champion. So will that power translate over into this pre-workout as we cover the usuals, taste, price, label, and most importantly the real world effects all coming at you. And if you are new here and you like our videos, please do hit the like button, hit the sub button if you haven't already, tick the bell icon because we drop about 3 reviews a week. But let's get into this bad boy. You guys know the drill, we're into that taste and mixability, and we've got the pleasure of trying out the strawberry and lime flavour, and typically we've always loved these guys' flavouring systems as well as the products themselves. The other flavour it comes in is Gummy Hicksy Bear, which is obviously a play on the name of Graham Hicks, so it sounds like an exciting one. Maybe we'll get to try that down the line, but typically strawberry and lime, they always nail this one, so let's give it a go because we've tried this flavour in their other products. So, how much is it? A 17.5 gram serving amount, I do believe. Yep, so that's gone in. Settled a couple of minutes ago, but mixability is actually definitely above average, and like I say, that's just been left there to settle. So they've done a very, very good job there. So yeah, above average mixability for what that's worth, but let's see how it tastes. That's really good. It's quite sour, but damn, it's good. It's flavoursome. Definitely along the lines of strawberry and lime, what they're going for. It's quite potent tasting. Obviously you can adjust the water, you know, to get the desired effect, but that is really, really good. You know, not that I should be too surprised. Like I said, we always like their flavours. It's a nice sweet flavour. There is a bit of sourness to it in my opinion, but it's really, really good. There's no nastiness to it. There's no horrible chemicals coming through on the back end, which is quite surprising considering this is a more high stim packed pre-workout. So I think they've done a good job. I'll have one more sip and then I'll give you a score. Yeah, I'd happily give that an 8.5 out of 10. I think if anything, I'll add a little bit more water next time just to bring down the sweetness and the sourness, but they've done a fantastic job. Let's move into that price point. Okay, we're into price segment, and how much will you be paying for this pre-workout? Well, head over to the official website, combat-fuel.co.uk, where you can use our 15% discount code, RB15. You can pick up this genuine 20 serving tub for only £27.19 or £1.36 per the serving. And if you guys may or may not know, we have a consistent price scale that we measure how expensive pre-workouts are. And this one, where a 5 out of 10 is considered to be bang average, this comes in at a 6.5 out of 10. So priced a substantial amount better than your typical pre-workout on the market. So what sort of pre-workout are we getting for that money? Let's get into the label and then the effects. Okay, let's get into the label. So what exactly is making this pre-workout live up to the name extremely potent with a big warning sign? Let's look on the back. So we have got ourselves, like I mentioned earlier, 17.5 grams serving ounce, so a nice amount there. Citrulline malate 2 to 1 at 6 grams. So we're getting a nice 4 gram amount of L-citrulline to get things moving, improve blood flow and help you get that pump on. Then we move down to beta-alanine at 3.2 grams, the amount we look for. It's that itchy, tingly sensation ingredient when it kicks in, but why it's actually in pre-workouts is because it helps with endurance when it builds up in your system and you reach that saturation point. Then we move down to beta-alanine anhydrous, 2.5 grams, again the perfect dose we look for there. Jack of all trades type ingredient, it's going to help with pumps, power output, athletic performance. Then we move down to N-acetyl-L-tyrosine at 1500 milligrams, a very nice dose there. Normally only see about a gram, if that, in a lot of cases. That's an amino acid and it's going to help with your focus and mood elevation. Then we have got Vita-choline at a gram, which is a trademark version of a choline donor. So again, that's going to tie in with that L-tyrosine to improve your concentration levels and your general athletic performance. Then we've got taurine at a gram, a nice dose again, another jack of all trades type ingredient, and that helps with hydration, pumps, focus and energy production. Then we've got Juglans whole fruit walnut, 400 milligrams. Now this can be a bit of a hit or miss ingredient in that Sometimes it's crazy strong in pre-workouts and sometimes you don't really feel anything at all. I think it comes down to the sourcing of the ingredient, you know, how potent it is. And another thing that it comes down to is whether companies are using it as a cover-up for something a little bit more potent, if you know what I mean. So we'll see how it comes through in this one, but at that dose it should in theory be something you definitely feel to improve your focus and energy levels without a doubt. Then we've got caffeine anhydrous at 300 milligrams, which is a nice amount of caffeine there, about 3 strong cups of coffee worth, a couple of energy drinks almost, and that's going to wake you up and get you moving. It's the main stimulant in any pre-workout. Then we've got T-cream at 200 milligrams, which is a nice ingredient. It bolsters up the caffeine effects. It works very well with caffeine synergistically speaking. It's not technically a stimulant, but it does work in a similar way in that it's going to help to improve your energy and focus levels. Then we've got Infinergy, a trademark version of dicaffeine malate at 100 milligrams, so you're going to yield an additional 75 milligrams of caffeine from that, topping up the total to 375, which is probably ever so slightly more than a typical amount in a pre-workout these days. And that's going to kick in slower, more towards the end of your workout to mitigate any kind of crash from that initial 300 milligrams of caffeine hit. Then again, speaking of which, we've got L-theanine at 150 milligrams, and again, another anti-crash mechanism, another amino acid. You often see it in sleep aids, but it can be used in pre-workouts because it does have a synergistic effect with caffeine in that it stabilizes it, puts a bit of a blanket over it in that it reduces any kind of jitters and negative effects of stimulants and channels it into more of a calm, productive focus. So hopefully we get that here. There's no digestive aid. Will that hold it back? We'll have to see as we get down the gym. We'll be right back. Okay, we're into the real world effects of Dynamite pre-workout by Combat Fuel in partnership with Graham Hicks. So what do we think in the couple of times we've both used it? Well, let's start off like we always do with that beta alanine, and it's in here at the dose we look for. It kicks into a medium degree, so it's not crazy, it's also not mild, somewhere in the middle, 5, 6 out of 10 on the tingle scale, so you do get your tingles, but they're not overbearing. So if you like it, you're getting some here. If you don't like that ingredient and the effects, then it's bearable. So it sets the scene, gets that sense of urgency, gets you moving. And what comes in very shortly after those beta tingles is a nice surge of linear, healthy feeling energy. It almost feels down the nootropic route in terms of, you know, the power's there, you know the stims are there and the energy is there, but it's a very controlled kind of feeling. There's no jitters, no flappiness, no peaks and troughs in the energy. Like I said, it's very linear and very healthy feeling. It lasts 2 to 3 hours, I would say. There's no crash. Obviously, I took it like 4 or 5 hours ago now, and I'm absolutely still raring to go. So I think they've been very smart here with the ingredients that they've used and the synergy that they all have with one another. It just feels like it comes together very well. You know when you just take a pre-workout and you just know an hour or so in, you just like it. It's one of those ones. It just feels good. I wouldn't say it's stim junkie level. So I wouldn't say, you know, that you'll be off your head on this and it's a crazy one and it's a good laugh to take. It's a very serious pre-workout, I would argue, a productive one at that, but definitely on the upper echelon. It's too strong to be a daily, but it's not strong enough to be considered an outright, you know, crazy stim junkie pre. So I would say, personally, it's sitting in that sweet spot, somewhere in between those two realms. So with that being said, some stim junkies might like it, and some daily driver loving users might like it as well, because it's teetering in between both. And these are the types of pre-workouts that I personally really like, because they're strong enough to do the job, but they're not so strong that they ruin your life by giving you a dirty crash and jitters and nasty nauseous feelings and all the rest of it that can come with some of these mental ones. So I think that they've towed that line very nicely. Obviously, on the side of the tub, they're claiming laser focus, mega pumps and high stimulant, and I'd agree with all of that except perhaps the mega pumps. I would say the pumps were just okay, because obviously the only direct pump ingredient in here is the citrulline at the 4 grams yield, which is decent. You know, it's an okay dose. It does the job. It gets things moving, but I would say that it's almost a positive that the pumps aren't actually too crazy with this one, in my personal opinion, of course, because I would argue that it's suitable for strength athletes, you know, people that do strongman or powerlifting, just anything where you're trying to work on your strength and perhaps not muscle building, because pumps, as we all know, can hinder your movement sometimes, can't they, with squats and deadlifts and things like that. You don't always want to get a pump. It depends what your style of training is.
Savage pumps in the gym and the bedroom. Wolf pump.
And I think that, you know, whether they've done it rightly or on purpose or not, I would say that it's actually a positive with this pre-workout that the pumps take a bit of a backseat, because that enables the real power and focus and drive elements to come through. You feel a good sense of energy, you feel a good sense of strength and power on this pre-workout. So it makes perfect sense to me why they would collab with someone like Graham Hicks on this one, because it seems like it would be perfect for that type of athlete, in my opinion. So yeah, we've talked about the pumps, we've talked a bit about the energy, and I would honestly say probably my favourite part about this pre-workout is the focus, because there's a nice switched on sense of absolute clarity with this pre-workout, and in a healthy way as well, not a crazy cracked out kind of way like these underground stim pre-workouts that we all know and perhaps love or may not love. But yeah, I think they've just done a very good job here hitting that sweet spot when it concerns the energy and the focus. I really like it. It's very consistent. You know, it's hit for me and Aaron the same every time we've used it. I don't really honestly have a bad word to say about this pre-workout. I think it's worth that price point, most definitely, especially using that discount code. It brings it into a nice price sort of category. Negatives, there aren't any. Like I said, there's no negatives with this product. You still feel switched on later in the day after you've trained, like I'm quite hopefully proving now. So yeah, it's one of those that I just like. I just do enjoy it. I will definitely use it again. I think you're getting a good pre for the money, like I said. It tastes good. I just don't have anything bad to say. I've trained well on it every time. I've enjoyed using it every time. I've felt strong and powerful and potent in the gym every time. And it's one that I'll definitely come back to. So yeah, Combat Fuel have done it again. It might actually be my favourite product that they've released to date, to be honest with you. You can probably tell by now, I just really like it. But yeah, guys, I'm curious to know if you've used it. If you have, let me know down below what you thought. You know, is there anything else you want to see us review on the channel? Let us know. You know, all of the usuals. It all helps the algorithm. And as always, thank you for watching. And again, as always, stay stimmed. And you will with this bad boy.